succeeded.
From that, I want us to go to a breaking story. News just reaching us is that High Court Judge Justice George Odunga has suspended the case against businessman Jimi Wanjigi. He has stopped the court in Nyeri from proceeding with that case against businessman Jimi Wanjigi. And this application was made at the High Court seeking to quash the summons requiring Jimi Wanjigi to avail himself in the Nyeri court. These were filed by one of his lawyers, Nelson Harvey. Once again, High Court Judge George Odunga has suspended that particular case. He has stopped the Nyeri court from proceeding with a case against a businessman, Jimi Wanjigi. He is being accused, as per the charge sheet, of being in possession of prohibited firearms or importing prohibited firearms. And in a short while, I will be having a conversation with one of his lawyers, Nelson Harvey. Remember, yesterday, he foiled an attempt by Jimi Wanjigi foiled an attempt by police officers to arrest him along Forest Road by locking himself up inside his bulletproof vehicle, but was served there and then along the Forest Road highway. And he was expected to appear before the Nyeri court today. He did not appear. His lawyer did on his behalf. And from the ruling that was made today by the judge at the Nyeri court, he was required to appear in court on March the 5th, which is Monday. But the High Court has since now stopped that particular case, a ruling that was made a few minutes ago by Justice George Odunga here in Nairobi at the Milimani Law Courts. Let's speak to one of the lawyers for Jimi Wanjigi, Nelson Harvey, now joining us by way of phone. A very good afternoon to you, Nelson Harvey. Thank you for making time for us. Just expound for us the kind of court orders that have been given there by Justice George Odunga from the High Court.
Well, Justice Odunga has made 3 orders. The first one is to grant leave for Jimi Wanjigi to commence proceedings to quash the entire summons and charge sheets, together with whatever action could have taken place before the Chief Magistrate in Nyeri today. The second one is to prohibit the Inspector General of Police from proceeding with any charge or any criminal case against Jimi Wanjigi without compliance with the directions that were given by Justice Kimaru on the 6th of February, that if at all Jimi is required for investigation, then he must attend the DCI headquarters at Mazingara. Now, the third order was to suspend the entire summons, the charge sheet, as well as all proceedings that are taking place before the Chief Magistrate in Nyeri. The effect of this is that Jimi Wanjigi will not be required to appear before the Chief Magistrate on the 5th of March until the determination of the case that has been filed in Milimani. Now, this case was filed on the basis of 3 main grounds. First one being that by the time the police officers attempted to seize Jimi Wanjigi yesterday, there was already a court order that required the police to investigate and question him within Mazingara and not otherwise. And in the event that they were to do so, they were not to arrest or detain him. That is number one. Number two, we've made it clear to the court that there is no reason or justification whatsoever as to why Jimi Wanjigi should be required to appear before the Chief Magistrate Court in Nyeri, yet the offense in respect of which is being sought is one that is alleged to have been committed in Nairobi. Our point is, and this has found satisfaction with the judge, the intention of the police is to have Jimi Wanjigi on the road for a long period of time, with the possibility of kidnapping him and holding him incommunicado, as was the case for Miguna. And the court has stamped its authority and said, we cannot allow things of this kind to continue being perpetrated by the police.
So then, just for the sake of our viewers, has this particular case been suspended momentarily, or is it for the long time? Explain to us what will happen in the next coming days with regard to this particular case.
Been suspended for the long term until the challenge that has been filed in Milimani is determined.
How long would this probably take?
Ordinarily, cases of this kind take up to a year to determine. We'll be back in court on the 10th of April to be given direction. So between now and the time that a final judgment will be given, before the Judicial Review Division, no action can be taken in the Nyeri court.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. Nelson Harvey there, joining us by way of phone on that Jimi Wanjigi case. So once again, the High Court Judge, Justice George Odunga, has suspended the court proceedings in the county of Nyeri with regard to the case against businessman Jimi Wanjigi until when the application they have filed, the hearing is complete. As per what Nelson Harvey tells us, our reporters are on this particular story. They will continue giving us updates